beka ko na to red na o ya mai ka be misa ai ko ka ya to pale mia misa ke nga I me ko follow ka misa ko ke na ka para la ka pe mai la economica misa policy na hen ka ka fanta ko gen pe mo misa ki mo ko ya seria tola ya be de no fora mai pe fo mai miti ya seria mai fora mai ko sene la o ka nga be na to ko premia mo misa ki mo ya seria pe que tal ka lahi misa to ko ni ko ya si soloi pe be ki ka mai fora mai ko ya ni ta meni Tagal viviente valvit panima me live stream at BroadCom ki he fare fabreanga o St. George.
Members of the Tongan media, members of Tongan cabinet, the honourable ministers, your excellencies and members of the Australian delegation. It's a profound honour on behalf of the Prime Minister's office to now invite first the Prime Minister of Tonga, Honourable Dr. Aisake Valu to deliver his statement, followed by Her Excellency Senator the Honourable Benny Wong to continue with their statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. And it's my privilege to warmly welcome Senator Honourable Benny Wong, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Australia, and also the Assistant Minister, Honourable Fisher Wade, here to Tonga. And it's a privilege, and also we're very fortunate to have you here. In fact, just after the elections. So we take the opportunity on behalf of the National Government and also the people of Tonga to wish you all the best, and also congratulations to you, and also Honourable Prime Ministers for being successful in the re-elections, and also for having the opportunity to come here to Tonga, and would like to warmly welcome you to our country. In fact, as you all know, Australia and Tongan partnership has been a strong relationship when going back to going back to the beginning of this country. Actually, as you know, our constitution, part of the constitution, actually, idea come from New South Wales, from Australia. So we have been, and also education also actually started off with assistance from Australia. So in different areas as well, across the development assistance we have, and we'd like to thank Australia for that opportunity and that assistance we provided. And you are here now at the second elections for the new government. I'd like to just to assure you a commitment to strengthen and also continue our strong relationship in terms of partnership, and also something that actually guided by mutual respect and also common interest, not only for between our two countries but also the regions. Also thank the Honourable Senator for strong leadership being exercised in terms of the regional organization in the Pacific. Is very, very central, particularly now in set of circumstances where it's very, very a global scene is very uncertain, particularly changes in terms of trades. It's important, very important role the Australia being standing up, and in terms of common values that we have to work together in the Pacific. Particularly now how we could improve our trade, and also in terms of partnership, in terms of training, and also we discuss, and we thank you for the opportunity we had this morning, not only bilateral meeting, myself and also Crown Prince, and also the Cabinet. We had a conversation, informed conversation with the ministers in terms of assistance they had received directly from the government. So again, just reassure our long-standing cooperations in several areas, including security. That's very important going forward. Climate change, also health, education, and also the PALM, the Labour Mobility Program. That's a program that we have. Actually, the impacts very go down to a root of our people. But in fact, we are all assuming the office knowing that we are here for our people, and I think that's why we are here, not only for our partner, but also to acknowledge your assistance for our Tongan diaspora in Australia. And I think for looking after them, and also attending to their needs is something I'd like to thank you. So I hope your visit here will be successful and try our best to make sure that our corporations actually live up to your expectations. We have to make use of assistance to us in a way that we're fully accounted for. And I think that's probably symbolized by a trust friendship or a spirit of friendship. I think that's what a very faithful and trustworthy partner. And I think that's what we know. We know we have a responsibility for our people. But again, thank you for the financial assistance and technical assistance provided for Tonga. So wish you all the best, and we hope your visit here will be something that encourage and enrich our relationship. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Prime Minister, and can I thank you for your warm welcome to both myself and to my Assistant Minister, Matt Thistlethwaite, and to thank your Cabinet for the opportunity to engage with you. I have been really appreciative of the discussions we have had. It's always such a wonderful honour to return to Tonga. Tonga stands out in our nation, in our region, as a nation that understands strength and sovereignty, but also acts with humility. And that leadership is very important to the Pacific family. We're joined not just by geography, but also by history and by friendship. And we are also joined by a shared vision of the Blue Pacific. Peaceful, stable, prosperous, in which our sovereignty is assured. And I know Tonga is a nation that has proudly assured its sovereignty, defended its sovereignty over centuries. We are honoured to be Tonga's largest development and security partner. But you know what we value most? We value most your trust. That is what we value most. That is why we are here, and that is why we want to continue to be trusted friends. This visit is an example of that commitment, but I'm pleased to make a number of announcements about new support to build on the partnership that we have built together. So today, Australia is committing $50 million over 4 years to launch the next phase of the Tonga Australia Support Platform and the Health Sector Support Program. These are initiatives which will help deliver stronger public governance, better health services, and greater gender equality, and all driven by your priorities, Tonga's own priorities. As you and I discussed, Prime Minister, we're also providing an additional $5 million in budget support to help you strengthen your health infrastructure, and also that difficult task which you and I discussed as current and former finance ministers of balancing the budget. These are contributions which are about economic resilience. These are contributions with the objective of continuing to work with you to build that strong foundation for your long-term sustainability, because financial and economic sustainability contribute to safeguarding a country's sovereignty. And I know the Kingdom of Tonga, the people of Tonga understand that. And sovereignty is about making sure that decisions for your country continue to be made by your country, by your people. We have a vision of, as you discussed, Prime Minister, of Pacific security, which has the PIF, Pacific Islands Forum, and its members at its core. And when we together can decide our own destiny, when we are strong and independent and collaborative with each other, that is when we are all more secure. We are all more secure. I'm also happy today to be able to announce more support for the incredible work of communities across Tonga. Another $1 million in new community grants empowering local leaders and organisations to deliver locally led solutions. And as an example of the breadth of our partnership, I'm going to give what we in Australia call a shout out today, which is that we have a group of traditional ecological experts who are here in Tonga. They include Australians Bob Muir and Lala Gutchin. They are demonstrating Pacific and Indigenous-led approaches to climate challenges. It's an example of how we are drawing on traditional knowledge, First Nations knowledge and wisdom, sharing expertise, listening to each other and working together to tackle shared challenges. And all of this that we do together builds on a 172-year partnership between our countries, which began when King Tupou I visited Sydney in 1853. Matt's very, very proud of that. He's from Sydney. So in these uncertain times, we stand shoulder to shoulder with Tonga as your reliable partner. Pacific nations can count on Australia. And together we will keep working to assure our region's stability, prosperity and independence the Pacific way. Offer Atu.
Thanks very much, Senator. Now we have the opportunity to give you perhaps 2 or 3 questions to each of us, and then, okay, we may start with here. Thank you. Matangtong, right.
Minister Wong, you recognize climate change as a big challenge and importance of supporting climate resilience in the Pacific Islands. However, while in Fiji, you were facing resistance from a fraction of Australians back home. How difficult is it to convince Australians that climate resilience in the Pacific Islands is worth fighting for, and how are you going to tackle it?
Well, we have. We are a country that has, I think, seen climate change be an issue of great discussion for many years. I was Australia's first ever climate minister when I was much younger. And I think what you saw at the last election was what you saw at the 2022 election, which is, notwithstanding some different views, the Australian people voted very clearly for action on climate change. Very clearly. We stood in that election, just as we did in 2022, with a very clear position on, we will transform Australia's economy and we will work with the rest of the world in the face of climate change. That was the position we took to the Australian people, and the government was returned, and we have a responsibility to carry that mandate forward. We see one of the things that I think gives the Pacific such authority in speaking about climate is because you live it. And you see it every day. It's not a tomorrow thing, it's a here thing. And we are already seeing it in Australia. I come from South Australia. We're the driest inhabited state and the driest continent in the world. And we see the impact of climate change already in terms of rainfall patterns. We see it also in the storms that we have seen in Australia, where we've always had storms, but now we have them more often. So we know this is a shared challenge, and it is one we want to work with you on, including in our collective bid to hold a conference of the parties to elevate the Pacific perspective. As I said, you are a nation. The Pacific peoples are a people who speak with authority on climate, and your voice should be heard in the world.
George.
Mr. Wong, George Valu, BroadCom Broadcasting. First, congratulations on your next week. With your 93 seats in Parliament, it's amazing. And we are looking forward to more talks like this in the future. Australia is serious reportedly about cutting emissions in the Pacific. The Pacific is serious about building resilience. Tonga is the only small island development state with its own national climate change plan. supported by my partners, Australia. It's not one of them. During this trip, I know you announced that there's 50 million on the table now, but will Australia directly support this national local initiative that Tonga is doing during this time of climate change?
Well, first, the access to global climate finance is important to the countries of the Pacific, and we have been a responsive partner. So, as Foreign Minister, I have asked Pacific leaders to prioritise. Tell me what was their priority in terms of climate finance. And the very clear message from Pacific leaders was the Pacific Resilience Facility, which is a Pacific-led entity, and I pay tribute to Tongan leadership. It is under the leadership of Tonga as chair of the Pacific Island Forum that the Pacific Resilience Facility was established, and we made the foundational investment in that of $100 million. We've also committed around $700 million in total for climate finance to the Pacific. Now, I think the Prime Minister and I have spoken about the PRF becoming operationalised here in Tonga as quickly as possible. And I'm sure that Tonga will discuss how your Climate Change Trust Fund, which preceded this, interacts with the PRF. As you probably know, we've also provided $85 million in budget support as part of our bigger ODA program.
This question is for you, Honourable Prime Minister.
I'm glad. We were just saying that he was just feeling left out, so thank you.
He looked left out, so I thought I might have a question for you. In the light of recent geopolitical shift in the Pacific region, involving security challenges, shift in regional allies, competition in resources, and global power competition, how does Tonga maintain, and this word was used by the Senator, Honourable Wong, how does Tonga maintain its sovereignty and security, adapt to changing dynamics, enhance its security infrastructure, strengthen diplomatic engagement, and participate in multilateral initiative to address shared security threats and promote regional stability?
Thank you very much. In terms of our foreign policy of the government of Tonga, basically is no enemies and friend for all. This is a thrust of our foreign policy. But at the same time, regional security is very important, and we have a program with Australia on security, and also some from other states, American also, but also there are some within the regions I think you're specifically referring to. But as far as the security, and I think is basically something we're working closely with Australia, because we maintain that kind of security, and I think that's probably something for the forum also that we actually united together in terms of looking after our own interest. We know there are assistants come from another area that might have some space, have some involvement in this space, but I think this is come also to a collective decision, even though we have each country has sovereignty to make in terms of making decisions, but this is something corrective. And we know the history. World War II, I think that is something that also is still vivid in our mind. But again, in a way, navigating our way forward, this is the strong partnership we have actually worked in terms of strengthening our regional security. Thank you. Thank you.
May I add to that? Because I agree with the Prime Minister, but it's a very good question, because it's actually the central question that we've been discussing, and so many of my interactions in the Pacific are defined by. I have a short answer. If the question is, what do we do in the face of all of these things happening to assure our sovereignty? I think it's trusted partners and a strong region. And you get a stronger region with strengthening and investing in and working within the Pacific Islands Forum as the key regional architecture.
Malulele, Foreign Minister.
Or a few
welcome
more
to
questions,
Tonga.
yeah?
As Tonga chairs the Pacific Island Forum, and at this time of growing geopolitical competition and also climate change urgency, how is Australia ensuring that its strategic interests in the region does not overshadow Pacific priorities, especially when it comes to supporting Tonga's leadership in voicing or amplifying Pacific voice towards Pacific finance, security, and sustainable development?
Well, I think we share strategic interests. I don't accept the way you ask the question. Right? I think we all want to assure our sovereignty. You know, we're a middle power. We're not a great power. We're not one of the superpowers. We want a region and a world where our sovereignty is assured. I think that's what Tonga wants. And so our question should be, well, how do we assure our sovereignty in a world which is changing? You know, China is more assertive. The Trump administration has a particular set of economic policies which we take a different view on. You know, we're a tariff-free country and we're going to stay that way. So what do you do in the face of that change? And it comes back to my answer to your colleague. We want the PIF to work well. We want the PIF to operate in a way that reflects the needs of all of its members. We believe that the provision of security within the Pacific Islands Forum is a contribution to stability. One of the there's two things that Tonga has done as chair, which I think have been so important. One is the PRF, the Pacific Resilience Facility that the Prime Minister and I were discussing. One is the Pacific Policing Initiative. It's Australia-backed, but it's Pacific-led. It's Pacific countries saying we will take responsibility for our own security. And that is an action of resilience.
Alita Tongatapu from Tonga Broadcasting Commission. Many Tongans in Australia are facing immigration challenges, including overstaying visas. Is the Australian government considering any amnesty pathway to residency or support service for long-term overstayers from Tonga in the Pacific?
Well, I know this is something that the High Commissioner has spoken to me about and is very aware of. What I would say is, this is an aspect of our relationship which is important, the movement of people and the people-to-people links, and we are always open for discussions about how that can be of maximum benefit to both our countries.
Thank you for the opportunity and welcome, Honourable Minister. My question is based on many Tongans leave Australia under the seasonal work schemes, and we face a significant challenges here in development, trade, including shortage in labor shortage, and also in local economy has impacted on it. And for my record, Honourable Minister, during your last visit, we discussed this issue, and yet it still remains a concern for us. So my question is, can you clarify on what Australia has been plans to take a short term for addressing these issues, and just add up on that to the Prime Minister of Tonga, how to envision both the governments in addressing the same issues. Malo.
Well, we will be led by what you want.
Yes.
So we may get this access available because it is important. The remittances are a contribution to your economy, but we will take your lead on it. If Tonga doesn't want as many or wants to make requirements about who is part of it, we're open to that. We want it to work for you and for us, and we've taken measures as a Labor government to improve the conditions of workers. They have the same rights as Australian workers. They have the same wages and conditions. We have put an effort into more compliance so that that side is dealt with. But in terms of the design of the scheme, how many and who, that's a matter that we would be led by Tonga on.
No, thank you very much. That's just to add on to this. Of course, like anything else in life, there are always two parts. One is the advantages, disadvantages, and I think go back to your comment. We are looking to the design, how we could design the scheme in a way that just actually take care of the social issues that we have, and I think I'll do our best. Of course, some of our people here are very successful, but also there are some social issues about this. Again, we will have to weigh up, but also at the same time, we work together how we could have a scheme adaptable to the current situation. And I thank Australia for being accommodative in terms of that aspect. Thank you.
Honourable Minister of Australian Foreign Affairs, Senator Honourable Penny Wong. It is an honour for me, on behalf of Tonga Media, to welcome you to the Kingdom of Tonga. Welcome. You are visiting 3 countries, Fiji, Tonga, and Vanuatu in the Pacific Island. Why come to Tonga over other countries in the Pacific Island?
We are very good friends. We are very good friends. We are old friends, and we are partners. We're old friends, we're partners for the present, and we are partners for the future. So that's why I'm here. And it's such an honour to be here. So thank you.
Thanks very much. I think that's for the time given for us. And again, in conclusion, I want to thank you once again, Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs, for being here, and also the announcement of extra resources to our health and also party support is something we're very grateful. And all the best for you and also your new government. And we're always here to make sure our partnership is successful for both of us. And thank you very much. Thank you. Moimoi ata, Paula.
Kakato ia o whakataha make koe ni I pale mea ko ia o Tonga toke ta Aisake Valu pe whoki ki Minister ki muri ko ia Australia Penny Wong pe whoki lava hono whakahoko ngahi whehui pe whai hono tali mai ka koe mea whakawhiawhia taha whoki South Lavaka ko ngahi tokoni koe ni ko whakaha Minister ko ia a ahi me Australia lavanga manua ia tongani I tau whanonga tō koe ni koe whulaui miliona.
Kake whangi kone I whare koe ia maro piri katarina koe ni manoa miliona I tā wha koe nga hako mai. Ai toko ni ko wha koe ia I ngā hewa koe ia pokpongi ni I heni. Ki he pare mea te omae I o lunga I mwe panga I 5 miliona. Koe toko nia ki tau budget I peke budget support. Ka una omae be poko hange peko ngai tala noa koe ia. Tēnā whakako. Thank you. Nene whakahoko mai koe ea koe ngahi ngāwe ko tōna o toko ni mai he nike nau ngāwe whakataha o Moimoi I he taki koe ia. Ai pasweki bako taimini ulo Tongatapu mei tongani. Tēnā upopo Moimoi ki he mea ko tōngi he malu mo e hao ai pasweki. Tēnā Moimoi mai weke he taka ai pasweki ka nā upopo mai Moimoi.
Eke pia koe kakato ia e whakataha koe ni koe pe whoke ngahi proklama o ko toi mai ana yange whawhofua ke hoko koe ai wā e au ki taim whainga maali e pe o si koe ai mau me toko ni hoa tā koe wā ki he kautau ai ne a whio I tauriki pia koe mo ki proklama no pe I ho tere tāno a pia pe whoke ki he toi ngahi a ahi ka te mau tukuat pe ngahi proklama ko ia o whatatau ki he ngahi taimi koe whakako ai kai malo au pita mo mea mai ka mo mea